Okay, let's kick things off. We're doing a deep dive today into really getting productive, looking closely at David Allen's Ready for Anything.
Yeah, and the really interesting thing from Alan, I think, is this idea that peak productivity isn't, about working yourself into the ground.
Not just longer hours.
No, it's actually about getting things done with, believe it or not, less effort. As little as possible, really. We want to pull out those basic habits that just make work, well, easier to tackle.
That already sounds a bit backwards, which honestly makes it more interesting.
Ah,
The book lays out these four big areas, right? These pillars for making it happen.
exactly. So first, you've absolutely got to capture everything that's pulling at your attention, those open loops, internal, external, get them out.
Okay, capture everything. What's second?
Second, you need to be really deliberate about where your focus goes, consciously choosing what matters now.
Makes sense. Third?
Third is building systems you can actually rely on, structures to hold all those commitments you captured.
And the last one.
And finally, maybe the most important bit, grounding everything in the very next physical action you need to take. Small steps.
Okay, so if we want this smooth, effortless workflow, we need to tackle what causes the friction in the first place. And Alan is pretty clear on this, isn't he? The big stressor.
Yeah.
It's not what you'd expect.
Right. It's the agreements you've broken with yourself, those little promises, things you told yourself you'd do and haven't. That's the surprising root of a lot of stress.
So if stress comes from these broken promises, how do we fix that? Where does that lead us?
Well, it leads straight to another key idea.
Mm-hmm.
You can only really, truly feel okay about what you're not doing when you actually know what you're not doing, when you have a clear inventory. If you've got these vague, fuzzy commitments lurking in the back of your mind, things you feel you should do but haven't defined, that's just cognitive quicksand.
And this is where that concept of psychic RAM comes in, right?
Yeah.
I found that fascinating.
Oh, yeah, it's a great analogy. It's like your computer's RAM, but for your brain, that limited mental workspace, holding on to all those promises, tasks, ideas, worries.
Both work stuff and personal life stuff.
Everything. Think about it. Every single undefined thing in your head. Call the insurance company. Think about the marketing plan. Buy milk. Each one is like a tiny program running in the background, constantly pinging your attention.
So Alan's point is, if it's just on your mind,
It's probably not actually moving forward. It's just sitting there, eating up mental bandwidth you need for, actually doing things.
wow. Okay, so how much mental energy are we talking? Like if I've got, say, 20 or 30 of these open loops,
Yeah.
is that a big drain?
It's huge. It's not just the sum of the items, it's the constant mental switching. Every loop is a low-grade distraction. If you have, 50, 100 things floating around undefined, that's a massive continuous hit to your ability to concentrate, to be creative, to just think.
Okay, that really clicks now why just trying to get organized often doesn't stick.
Yeah.
We try to sort the mess while it's still all fuzzy in our heads.
Exactly. You put labels on things, maybe feel better for a name, but you haven't actually clarified the commitment or the next action.
You haven't dealt with the root cause.
Right. You're organizing stuff, vague ideas, when you need to be organizing actions. So the very first practical step Alan insists on is a complete mind sweep. A cleanup.
Closing those loops frees up energy.
Tremendous energy. And that starts with what he calls the ubiquitous capture tool.
Yeah, the idea you need one place, could be a notebook, an app, whatever, but one trusted place to dump absolutely everything that comes into your head.
Seems simple, maybe even basic, but it's non-negotiable. You have to externalize it all. Little reminders, big project ideas, everything. Get it out.
All right. So once you've dumped everything out of your head, what's the next big step in this system? It's about knowing where you stand, right?
Exactly. You can't really figure out where you're going until you know where you are. And Alan suggests doing a kind of inventory, but across 6 different levels, like looking at your life from different altitudes.
6 levels. Okay, break that down.
Yeah, it's pretty comprehensive. So starting right down at ground level, the first 3 are, number 1, your current tasks, those single physical actions you can do next.
Like call Bob or draft email.
Precisely. Then level 2 is current projects, anything that takes more than one action step to complete, like plan the sales conference or renovate the kitchen.
Okay, tasks and projects. What's level 3?
Level 3 is your current areas of responsibility. These are the major hats you wear in life, usually about 10 to 15 key areas like your health, finances, family, specific job roles.
Right, the ongoing parts of life you maintain.
Exactly. So those are the first 3, kind of the day-to-day and week-to-week management levels.
Okay, then we zoom out.
Then we zoom out. Level 4 is your objectives, what you want to accomplish in the next, say, 1 to 2 years.
More medium-term goals.
Right. Level 5 is your vision. Where do you see yourself or your organization in 3 to 5 years? What does success look like further out?
And the top level, level 6.
Level 6 is purpose. The big why. Why are you here? Why does your organization exist? What's the ultimate reason behind it all?
Okay, wow. So connecting Call Bob all the way up to my purpose on Earth. That seems like a stretch.
Yeah.
How does knowing my ultimate purpose help me manage my inbox today? Isn't that just overwhelming?
You'd think so, but Alan argues it's actually the opposite. It's clarifying. Those top levels, vision and purpose, they act as the ultimate filters. They help you decide what belongs on your task list in the first place.
Ah, I see. So you use the big picture to make better decisions about the small stuff.
Exactly, because priorities, real priorities, only work when you're consciously choosing them. If your goals are all vague and undefined, you just end up reacting to whatever feels loudest or most urgent in the moment.
Which is usually not the most important thing.
Rarely. So the idea is you need all those open loops captured, big and small, from buy milk to define 5-year vision, before you can reliably look at everything and say, okay, this is the most important thing to do right now. You need the complete picture to trust your choices.
That makes sense. And there's this interesting paradox mentioned too. The clearer your purpose, the more options you actually see to fulfill it.
Yeah, it's counterintuitive. If your why is fuzzy, you tend to just get bogged down in putting out fires. But when you're really clear on your purpose, you start seeing opportunities everywhere to move towards it, even in small ways. Clarity at the top actually creates efficiency at the bottom.
Okay, so mind cleared out, inventory taken. Now we need a place to put all this stuff, right? The structures.
Yes, the trusted structures. And this is where, some people push back. They think structure kills creativity.
Right, the organized versus creative myth.
Exactly. But Alan flips that. He says stability on one level actually enables creativity on another. Think about it. If your bills are paid, your commitments are tracked, you don't have that low-level anxiety humming in the background.
So the structure frees up mental space.
Precisely. It allows for that mind-like water state people talk about,
Yeah.
a natural, easy flow. But the key word is trusted. Meaning your system, your lists, your calendar, whatever tools you use has to be so reliable, so bulletproof that your brain actually believes it doesn't need to keep reminding you about things.
It has to be better than your own memory.
Much better. If there's even a tiny doubt like, did I write that down? Or will I remember to look at that list? Your psychic RAM just loads that commitment right back up. The system fails.
Okay, so how do we build this trustworthy system? Let's get into the nuts and bolts, those 5 phases of workflow mastery. That sounds like the engine room.
It really is. It's the core process. So phase 1, collect. We talked about this, getting everything, absolutely everything, into your in trays, your capture tools, leak-proof buckets.
Step 1, capture. Then what?
Then phase 2, process. This is crucial. You look at each item you collected and you make a decision. First question, what is this? Second, is it actionable?
Okay, actionable or not? If it's not.
If it's not actionable, you either trash it, file it as reference material, or put it on a someday maybe list for later consideration.
And if it is actionable.
If it's actionable, you ask, what's the very next physical action required to move this forward? And this is key. It has to be physical. Not plan party, but email caterer, or draft guest list.
And the 2-minute rule fits in here.
Yes. During process, if that next physical action takes less than 2 minutes, the rule is do it right then and there. Don't defer it. Don't track it. Just do it. Get it off your plate immediately.
Smart. So let's take an example. I wrote down fix leaky faucet. What happens?
Collect. You wrote it down. Process. Is it actionable? Yes. What's the next physical action? Maybe it's call plumber. Maybe it's search online for DIY tutorial. Maybe buy washer kit.
Let's say it's called plumber. It takes more than 2 minutes.
Right. So since it takes longer than 2 minutes, you don't do it right now. You define the next action, call plumber, and then it moves to the next phase. Organize.
Phase 3, organize. What happens here?
This is where you put that defined next action and the reminder of the overall project, fix faucet, into your trusted system. Alan suggests 4 main categories for actionable items.
Okay, what are they?
There's your projects list, just a list of all the outcomes like faucet fix that require more than one step. Keeps track of the finish line. Then your calendar. This is only for things that have to happen on a specific day or time. Appointments, deadlines.
Got it. Calendars for time-specific stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Then you have next actions lists. This is where a call plumber would likely go. These are lists of the next physical actions you can do, often grouped by context, like at calls, at computer, at errands.
So you only see actions you can actually do based on where you are or what tools you have.
Precisely. And the fourth category is waiting for things you've delegated or are waiting on someone else for, like waiting for the plumber to call back.
Collect, process, organize. What's for?
Phase 4 is review. You need to look at your lists regularly, daily, for next actions and calendar, and then there's the big one, the weekly review.
And phase 5.
Phase 5 is simply do, engaging with your work, making choices based on your context, time available, energy level, and priorities, which you now trust because you've inventoried and reviewed them.
Okay, you mentioned the weekly review is critical, like the whole system falls apart without it.
Absolutely. It's the linchpin. It's non-negotiable. It's the dedicated time, maybe an hour or 90 minutes once a week, where you clear all your inboxes, review all your projects, look at your goals, check your waiting for list. Basically, you get clear, current, and creative for the week ahead.
So it's like system maintenance.
It is system maintenance. Without it, the lists get outdated, trust erodes, and all those anxieties just creep back into your head. The weekly review is what keeps the whole engine running smoothly and allows you to relax the rest of the time, knowing things are handled. It prevents the system itself from becoming another source of stress.
So if you do all this capture, process, organize, review, do consistently, especially that weekly review, what's the payoff? What does that ready for anything state actually feel like?
It feels like being present. It's getting into the zone, as Alan calls it. He makes the point that you can't really have a truly empty mind when you're conscious. It's always focused on something.
Right.
But when your system is holding everything, when you trust it completely, your mind is free to focus fully on whatever you're doing right now. There's no nagging feeling you're forgetting something. Work, play, rest. The distinction kind of blurs because you're just appropriately engaged with the present moment.
And there's this link to relaxation too, right? That seems odd, productivity and relaxation.
Yeah, it's another one of those counterintuitive principles. Alan talks about this freedom-productivity equation. Your power, your effectiveness, is directly proportional to your ability to relax.
How does that work?
Think about an athlete or a musician. Peak performance comes from a state of relaxed concentration, not tense forcing. When you trust your external system to hold all your commitments, your mind can relax. And that relaxed state allows for maximum creativity, problem solving, and efficiency.
So less mental tension means more effective action.
Exactly. Speed and precision come from ease, not strain, which also connects to another principle, the power of small, consistent actions.
Ah, the critical 20%.
Right. Small things done consistently over time create massive results. It's far more effective to consistently chip away at things with small, defined next actions than to try and tackle huge, overwhelming projects all at once.
That feels much more manageable. And that also ties into dealing with that dreaded someday maybe list, doesn't it?
Yeah.
How do you stop things from just sitting there forever?
The antidote is realizing you never have time to do a project. Projects feel big, vague, intimidating.
Yeah, organized garage just looms there.
Exactly. But you do have time right now or scheduled soon to do the next physical action, like clear off workbench or buy storage bins.
Break it down.
Always break it down. In this system, long-term doesn't mean put it off. It means start moving on it as soon as possible by defining that very first immediate physical step. If something's on, someday maybe, that's fine, it's captured. But to activate it, you just need to decide, what's the next action?
Okay, so let's pull this all together. What's the big takeaway for you listening right now? This whole deep dive seems to show that getting truly productive, being ready for anything, it's not what most people think.
Not at all. It's almost the opposite. You gain internal freedom, that mental clarity, that creative flow, not by trying harder inside your head, but by rigorously building and trusting structures outside your head.
So you externalize the chaos to create internal calm.
That's a great way to put it. That mind like water isn't about being passive. It's the result of having strong, reliable banks. Your system's guiding the flow. It takes consistent effort to maintain those banks.
Right. So as we wrap up, there's one final, really provocative idea from the book to leave you with. It's about why we feel the need to organize in the first place.
Yeah, this one really makes you think. Alan suggests that the necessity you feel to plan and organize that urgent, sometimes stressful feeling of, I need to get organized, is inversely proportional to your perceived resources.
Okay, unpack that a bit. What does perceived resources mean here?
It means how much time, energy, mental space, maybe even money you feel like you have. If you constantly feel overwhelmed, swamped, like you don't have enough resources.
Then you feel this desperate need to organize just to cope.
Exactly. That feeling of necessity is actually a symptom. It's a sign you perceive a deficit. The organizing itself feels like a chore, maybe even a waste of precious time you don't have, because it's driven by that feeling of lack.
So what's the goal then?
The ultimate goal isn't just to be organized. It's to use this system, these principles, to get to a place where you have enough perceived resources, enough clarity, enough control, enough trust in your system that planning and organizing are no longer driven by urgent necessity.
So it becomes a choice, not a reaction to stress.
Precisely. You get to a point where organizing isn't something you have to do because you're drowning, but something you choose to do calmly and creatively because it helps you engage effectively with your world. It shifts from a stress response to a strategic choice, something to think about.